Hello everybody, how are you all? I hope you are all fine. Welcome to our science class. Today we are going to learn about a new and interesting chapter. Children, open your textbook at page number 266, Management of Wastewater. So let us learn about the chapter. Children, now let us start with the mind map for the chapter. Management of wastewater. So first, what do you mean by wastewater? Wastewater is nothing but the dirty water or polluted water, isn't it? Yes. Wastewater is nothing but the dirty or polluted water which carries waste in solution. So from where we are getting this wastewater? We are getting wastewater from industrial waste, oil leakage, chemical fertilizers from agriculture, then sewage lines, then leakage landfills, and then domestic waste. From all these things we are getting waste water. So what we are doing with this wastewater, whether it is recycle and reuse somewhere or else it's getting dumped somewhere, that we have to find, isn't it? Yes children, we are recycling and we are using it again. For that they are using a separate water treatment plant. Okay, in that they are having 3 steps, that is primary treatment, secondary treatment and tertiary treatment. Okay, so about primary level, they are doing this primary treatment in 3 ways, that is screening, grit removal and sedimentation. Kids, I am coming again, screening, grit removal and sedimentation. So what do you mean by screening? First step, here in this screening process they are removing the easily collected waste materials like plastic papers. All those things are removed out. Okay, and then the second step is grit removal. They are further passed in grit removal tanks. Here they are having separate tanks, and from that they are segregating the waste materials. And then the final step is sedimentation. They are allowing it to sediment, and then they are collecting out the waste materials. Okay, so this is what in primary treatment. The next thing is about secondary treatment. So what they are doing here, they are treating the waste materials, wastewater with bacteria. They are treating the wastewater with bacteria. So that will happen in aeration tanks. This process will be done in aeration tanks. The third thing is about tertiary treatment, third level, and here it is basically a chemical process. They will be using here some chemicals to clean the wastewater. Clear? So then we will be recycling this wastewater and that will be used further. Clear children? Yes. Now let us learn about all these steps in detail. Management of wastewater. So as I said, wastewater is nothing but the dirty or polluted water. Okay, it's dirty or polluted water. So from where it is getting polluted? That is generated due to various human activities like domestic work and then industrial work and agricultural related works. Because of all these things you are getting wastewater. Okay, they use fertilizer which is used water, the fertilizer used water, that is turned to be a waste. And then industrial waste, effluents, that will be released out from industries or factories. Then in our home, the daily wastage, the vegetable peels, all those things, it's getting dumped. So from all these things we are getting, that is mixed with water, which will lead to wastewater or polluted water. Clear? So in this way wastewater is generated daily. Then discharge of undesirable substances into water leads to water pollution. So, some chemical substances or some anything like fertilizers, effluents, all those things are mixed with water that leads to water pollution. Then the substances that bring about the undesirable change is called as pollutants. So, substance which makes the water pollutant is said to be as pollutants. Can you understand? The substances that bring about the undesirable change or the wastewater or the dirty water is called as pollutants. Clear? Now, let us learn about from where we are getting this substances to pollute the water. Okay, sources of water pollution. Let us learn one by one. So, the first main reason is because of industrial water. What is that? Industrial water. From industries, factories, wastewater will be released out. Okay. So, that will go and mix with water which makes the water dirty. About that we are going to learn. Industries and factories produce large amount of waste that contains toxic chemicals such as lead, mercury, sulfur and many other harmful chemicals. So, all these chemicals will be there in the water which is released out from the industries, and then this toxic chemical water will mix with water and automatically that water will also turn out into a dirty or polluted water. Clear? Then waste in industries. In industries, they are having some waste, and if suppose they are not having a proper waste management system, what happens? These waste will go into rivers, canals and later into sea. That will go and mix ultimately in the sea, which makes the sea water polluted. Now children, let us learn about the sources of wastewater. Okay, the second point is mining activity. What do you mean by the word mining? Mining means extracting the wanted information from a huge amount of material. So, here mining activity means they are just separating out the materials which are present in the wastewater. Okay. So, when they are separating, it releases several harmful metals. It will give you out several harmful metals and toxic elements which mixed up with water and contaminates it. So, in the wastewater, some harmful metals and toxic chemicals will be there which will pollute the water and it will further contaminate also. So, they are just removing that harmful metal and toxic chemicals. This is what about mining activities. So, if you are just doing this activity, you can see that there are so much of harmful metals and toxic chemicals are present in the wastewater. Clear? Then accidental oil leakage. Oil leakage. Okay. Oil spill when large amount of oil enters into the sea. So, when large amount of oil enters into the sea, what happens? Will oil mix with water? No, isn't it? Yes, it does not dissolve in water, so that the organism which is living in the water, that is aquatic plants and animals, are getting affected here. They are affected. Clear? Then chemical fertilizers and pesticides. So, who is using this? Farmers are using fertilizers and pesticides for plant growth to get better yield, isn't it? So, in one side, even though they are using, plants are having good health and we are getting they are getting good yield, better yield from plants, but still in other way the water is getting polluted, it is getting contaminated by the mixture of fertilizers and pesticides and all. Okay. So, these are different sources of waste water. Clear children? Yes. Children, now let us learn about sewage water. Okay. Carries waste in solution. If it carries waste in solution or else in the form of suspension. If the waste carried in the form of suspension, then dirty water is called as sewage or wastewater. Clear, children? Yes. The impurities dissolved or suspended in it is called contaminants. Then sewage might pollute fresh water, sources and public water distribution systems. Exposed draining of sewage which is coming out from hospitals and industry will lead to community health problems. To a particular circle, it will get spread. Okay. Exposed draining of sewage which is released out from hospitals and industries will lead to community health problems. So that's why there should be an effective drainage system. Clear, children? Yes. Children, now you can see the picture for the sewage system. So here you can see the picture. So these are some buildings or the residential area. So from here the water is getting collected and it is further stored in the wastewater treatment plant. Before to that, rainwater runoff from trees, rainwater is getting stored and that is mixed with river. Okay. Then these residential water which is coming out, that will get stored in the wastewater treatment plant, and then further it will be processed with some treatment, and the final let out water, the treated wastewater will be mixed with rivers. Okay. So, we are going to learn about this. Here a sewage system is there. A sewage system is made up of a network of pipes. Sewage system is nothing but a network of pipes. So, what it will do? Which will carry wastewater to the sewer mains of the city. So, it will carry the wastewater to the sewer mains of the city. These pipes that carry wastewater are called sewers. These pipes that carry wastewater are called sewers. Then the pipe that carry the wastewater is called sewers. These sewers are normally made up of either cast iron or polyvinyl chloride, that is in short PVC pipes. Okay. Then the wastewater goes down. What it will do? It will go down in the drain when you flush the toilet or wash your clothes. So, the water which is expelled out from your toilet or is in your while you are washing the clothes, the water, all those things will get stored here, and then the pipes from each house or building are connected to several main pipe that is covered by a lid called the manhole cover. So, all this wastewater will get and stored under a manhole cover. So, that will be provided with a manhole cover to just check the leakage or blockage for maintenance purpose. Then the sewer main flow into progressively larger pipes. So, from the small pipe it will start flowing to the larger pipes until they reach the wastewater treatment plant. So, from small pipe the water is further moved to the large pipes and then it is moved to wastewater treatment plant. This wastewater treatment plant will be located in the low lying areas. Okay. Then the sewage is then treated, cleaned and released into rivers and seas. The sewage water is then further it will get processed. So many steps are there. So, it will get processed and the final treated wastewater will be released into rivers and seas. Clear, children? Yes. So, we have to treat this sewage water. So, how they are treating the sewage water, that we will learn now. Yes children, now let us continue with wastewater treatment plant. Okay. So, here sewage water has to be treated before it is let off into water bodies. So, before this water released to rivers, it should be treated. So, how this wastewater is treated, that we are going to learn now. It is treated in 3 steps, that is primary, secondary and tertiary. Okay. So, now primary treatment. Now, let us learn about primary treatment. So, primary treatment happens in 3 stages. There are 3 steps in primary treatment. What are they? Screening, grit removal and sedimentation. Screening, grit removal and sedimentation. So, let us learn one by one. Screening. What do you mean by screening? Here, it removes materials that can be easily collected from waste, like plastic, papers, all those things, which is going and occupying more space, that can be easily removed from the wastewater. That will be removed first. That is what screening. It removes materials that can be easily collected from wastewater before they clog the pipes. So, that is that will take place in primary treatment tank. It will take place in primary treatment tank. Then the sewage is passed through screen of aerial bars which remove large objects. Then further it will be passed to aerial bars which will remove the large objects like cans, rags, sticks and plastic packets, all those things, old cloth, all those things will be there. Old newspapers, that collections, everything will be there in this wastewater, isn't it? Yes. So, to remove all these things, sticks and plastic packets from wastewater, they are allowing it to pass through aerial bars. Okay. And here these screening steps will be done so that all these large objects will be removed from the waste water. Clear children? Yes. Now, the second step, grit removal. What is that? Grit removal. So, here the screened wastewater is passed through settling tanks. Further, after removing all these large objects, this wastewater will be passed through settling tanks. What is that? Settling tanks. So, it will be passed through settling tanks and a grit chamber. Here in the settling tanks, grit chamber will be there, where the speed of the incoming wastewater is adjusted to allow the settling of sand and stones which may damage the pump. So, here the second step is grit removal. So, after removing the large objects, the same water is further continued to this grit chamber, settling tanks, and in the settling tanks they are having this grit chamber. So, what it will do? It will just lower the speed of water which is released out, which is flushed out. Okay, it will be adjusting the speed of water so that will be easy to separate it from the waste particles like sands, stones which will damage the pump. That should be removed further, isn't it? Yes. So, they are just adjusting the speed of the water, and then it will be adjusted in such a way they can remove the waste particles like sand or stones which will damage the pump. That will be removed here. That is what grit removal. Clear children? Yes. Yes children. Now, the next step, sedimentation. What is that? Sedimentation. So, what we are doing here, after grit removal, by passing water through large tanks, we are allowing the water to pass through large tank, that is sedimentation tank. So, what happens here in the sedimentation tank? The solid waste called sludge. The solid waste particles is said to be as sludge, which will settle down, while lighter impurities such as oil and grease, all these things will float on water surface. That's what about sedimentation. So, the tanks gently pump out the sludge. This sedimentation tank will gently pump out the sludge, that is solid waste, which will pump out the solid waste from below, while the scum on top gets skimmed away. So, the oil or the greasy materials will be separated out from the sludge, solid waste. Okay, and then the sludge is moved further. The tanks gently pump out the sludge from below, while the scum on top gets skimmed away. Clear, children? So, this is what about the third step, sedimentation. Yes, children, now let us learn about secondary treatment. The second step, that is secondary treatment. Here, secondary treatment is used to decompose the biological content or the organic waste. So, the solid waste is moved here to the second step, that is secondary treatment, and here they are used to decompose the biological content or the organic waste which are derived from human waste, food waste, soaps and detergent. With all these things we will be getting a waste product, solid waste, that is moved here, the first step in the secondary treatment. So, here we are going to decompose the biological content. So, this process is done in open tanks, that is called as aeration tanks. This process is done in open tanks, that is aeration tanks. So, what is this aeration tanks? Air is blown into these tanks to speed up the action of aerobic bacteria. So, here some bacteria will be allowed to mix with the waste products. Okay. So, when bacteria is mixed, air is also blown. Air is also blown by this aeration tanks. Air is blown into these tanks to speed up the action of aerobic bacteria. Clear? Then what will happen? This bacteria will consume the organic contaminants. The bacteria will consume the organic contaminants such as food waste and the feces of animals. So, when this bacteria is consuming, automatically this process is called as digestion. That is why it is also called as digestion. So, during this process, when the bacteria is intaking this waste material, solid waste, biogas is produced. What will happen? Biogas is produced, and we can use this biogas for as a fuel. We can use this biogas as a fuel. Clear, children? Yes. So, this is what about secondary treatment. So, as far as now we have studied about primary treatment and secondary treatment. So, after secondary treatment you will be getting the organic waste will be eaten by microorganisms, okay, and then you will be getting fuel also. A biogas will be released out and the biogas will be utilized for fuel purpose. Okay. Now, tertiary treatment. So, what is this tertiary treatment? This is a chemical process. Here to the waste further chemicals will be added or mixed, in which the water is treated with different chemicals. Water is treated with different chemicals like chlorine, and sometimes they might pass UV light also, UV light, ultraviolet light rays. Okay. So, UV light they are passed through it, which is used to kill disease causing microorganisms. So, to the waste they are using here some chemicals and they are allowing it to pass through UV light. Why? Because it will kill the microorganisms which are present in the waste, okay, to kill the disease causing microorganisms. Then the further treated water will be let out into rivers and seas, rivers or seas. The clean water is then released into rivers or seas. So, this is how they are treating the waste water into, they are just treating the water, okay, waste water is treated. That is what tertiary treatment. Now, they are having now the treated water. What is the use of this treated water? In which way the treated water can be utilized? Listen, uses of treated water and sludge. Treated water and sludge. It can be used as a fertilizer or a landfill. So, this further treated water we can use it for fertilizer, either as a fertilizer or as a landfill, okay, or as a landfill. Then sewage sludge, the sludge, the organic waste is rich in organic matter, So, it can improve the physical condition or the fertility of the soil is increased by mixing it with sewage sludge. Then this treated water is used to produce biogas. They are used to produce biogas, which is used as a fuel. So, from biogas what we can do? Biogas is used as a fuel. It is an alternate substitute of fuel, okay, and then it can be used to generate electricity also. It can be used to generate electricity. So, in all these ways the treated water is used here. Treated water and sludge is used. Children, now let us learn about some alternative methods of sewage disposal. Okay. So, here vermicomposting. What is that vermicomposting? Vermicomposting is a method in which earthworms are used to decompose vegetable peels, food waste, human excreta and fats. So, here earthworms will mix with all these different types of waste like vegetable peels, food waste, human excretes and all. So, the earthworms will mix with these waste and will enrich the soil. It will make the soil extra fertile. Okay, that is what. It contains water soluble nutrients and can be used as organic fertilizers. Vermicompost contains water soluble nutrients. Will be having nutrients which will solubilize in water and can be used as organic fertilizer. Vermicompost is used as an organic fertilizer. Then the second method is landfill. What is this landfill? Landfill involves burying the waste in unused pits where anaerobic bacteria break down the organic waste. So, here in this landfill, waste materials will be buried in the pits, okay, buried in the unused pits, and here since it is dumped inside, the anaerobic bacteria break down. Because of this anaerobic bacteria, organic waste will get break down and it will give you out or produce a gas, that is biogas, which has a combination of carbon dioxide and methane. That is what. It involves burying of waste in unused pits where anaerobic bacteria break down the organic waste and producing a gas which is a mixture of carbon dioxide and methane. So, this gas, further this biogas is used to generate electricity. Clear children? Yes. Now, some steps to prevent the water pollution. So, if you are preventing earlier, this will give you less polluted water. So, how to prevent this water pollution? Like use minimum amount of detergent while washing clothes, minimum amount of detergent, and then you can also use phosphate free detergents for washing. Then never pour household insecticides or medicines down the sink or toilet. So, do not pour the medicines, leftover medicines in the sink or toilet. What happens? Which will further pollute the water. So, to avoid that water pollution, we should take some steps. That is what about steps to prevent water pollution. Yes children, now you can see this here in this bifurcation, you can see the vegetable peels, okay, and this is cocoa peat. Okay. Now, I am going to show you how they are preparing the organic compost or organic manure. Okay. So, it is a type of vermicomposting. So, here you all know vermicomposting is a method in which earthworms are used here to decompose the vegetable peels and the food waste, human excreta and fats and all, isn't it? So, how they are making out this vermicompost? So, daily you will be getting like this so much of vegetable peels in your home, isn't it? So, instead of throwing that, if you are just taking that and storing like this, you will be getting a rich organic fertilizer. Okay, that is what. So, you want to collect this vegetable peels. Then this is nothing but the coco peat. It is very light weighted. Okay, so it is a substitute of soil. Okay, and it is eco friendly. Okay, so this is coco peat. Along with this, you want to mix some amount of soil, okay, and you want to allow it to settle for some days. You want to keep it close in a bucket. You want to dump again and again the vegetable peels and then coco peat and soil, like this, layer by layer you have to store it. After 1 or 2 months, it will turn into a rich organic fertilizer. So, this is what the organic fertilizer you got after 1 or 2 months. Okay. Here, along with the vegetable peel and coco peat and soil, we will be adding earthworms. Earthworms will be added. So, that what happens, the earthworm will decompose the vegetable peels and all other organic waste, and that will get mixed with soil, and now it turns finally into a rich fertilizer. That is what vermicomposting. Yes children, now an activity for you all. So, what is that? Here you can see activity 1. There are many products that we use in our house that become toxic if they enter the water. If they mix with water, that will turn the water dirty or polluted. There are so many products in our homes or in your house what you are using, isn't it? Yes. So, you find out the respective product, and after mixing it water, if it pollutes the water, you find out the harmful effect and you find out some preventive measures also. So, for these 3 products they have given, like detergent, fertilizers, paints. Okay. So, you find out the harmful effect and preventive measure. So, what is the effect of detergent, using detergent? In which way it is getting affected the human organism, or it is affecting the water. So, how to prevent this detergent toxicity? What we can do? Like that, you want to find out, and you have to list here and take a photocopy and forward in your class email ID. So, children, with this we have come to an end of this chapter. So, after watching the video, learn and practice well. So, keep learning, do research and keep learning. Thank you all.